How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is David here with Mac Tutorials 14, and today we have for you guys Let's Talk Tech, episode number 2. I'm here with my co-host, Max, from In Other Apple News. Max, go ahead, say hi.
What is going on, YouTube and listeners of Google Plus? We're back with our second podcast. Very excited. Big week for stuff in tech.
Oh yes, big week for Winterboard themes as well. I know, Max, you've been pretty excited about that. There's been a slew of new Winterboard themes that have come out with iOS 7 compatibility, which we'll talk about in just a second. So we do have a lot to talk about, don't we?
Yep.
All right, so let's start off. Max, you want to cover the iOS 8 theme?
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay.
So currently I'm running the iOS 8 theme on my phone. I saw it launch on iDownload blog, I think when they gave the list of the top 10 Winterboard themes. And it really is a very nice theme. I mean, this is the only theme that I have currently on my phone. It changes the whole stock applications. David, did you get a chance to get this on your phone?
Yes, I did. And it was, it actually, I had seen some early concept art for iOS 8, even though iOS 8, obviously is not out yet. Whether or not that's what iOS 8 is going to look like, I mean, Apple, from iOS 6 to iOS 7, from any iOS to iOS 7, you can see there has been a huge difference. And I think Apple's finally starting to, go for the minimalistic look. So I'm not sure if iOS 8 is going to look like that or not. It'll probably be somewhat close to that. But then again, you never know. It could be something completely different. So we'll just have to wait and see for that. But I tested that out, and it is a really good Winterboard theme, and I like it a lot.
Okay, so next, I guess, is Crystal 7, right?
Crystal 7, yes.
Another Winterboard theme,
yes.
as of many.
Okay, so the thing about this that I like is that, it gives sort of like, I don't know, it's sort of like I don't know if I'm saying this right, but sort of like a glow to the applications, if you know what I mean, because it turns silver, or crystal,
yeah.
or something like. So it gives a little bit more dimension to the application a little bit. I tested this on my phone. I like it, but it's not one of my favorites. I definitely could say that the next one is probably my most favorite, which we'll get to in a second. But Max, I know you had a chance to try this out. What do you think of it?
Well, I'm going to tell you the issue that I have. When we were announcing that we're going to be doing this podcast, David gave me a list of stuff for Winterboard that I had to do. So I have a bunch of Winterboard themes piled on my phone, so I can't really tell the difference between each one. So I had to uninstall all of the other themes and just have Crystal 7 on there. Personally, I don't think it looks that nice. I mean, I'm definitely a fan of the iOS 8 theme. It looks awesome, and that's what I currently have on my phone if I didn't already mention that. But the shiny glow does add to your interface. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the next thing we have, next theme, and this is one of my, by far, so far, my favorite themes, is Circlous. Now this launched along with 64 compatibility with Winterboard. We'll talk about that later in the podcast. I just wanted to mention that. That launched a little while ago. And so anyway, so Circlous is really awesome. Basically, it basically allows you, once you have the theme enabled, it basically makes your icon circular. I am running this theme on my device, and it just looks fantastic. As far as iOS 8 theme and Crystal 7 goes, those were two of the themes that launched when I was actually taking a break from jailbreaking, because I felt like I was, doing all this a lot. So I thought, all right, I'm going to take a break for a day. So I took a break for like a day or two, and then, this came out, and so then, all right, I was like, all right, I'm coming back on, because not many tweaks were releasing because, we'll get to that in a second with Mobile Substrate, but Mobile Substrate wasn't working, Cydia Substrate wasn't working, Substrate Safe. All those were not updated for iOS 7 support, full iOS 7 support yet, which is why a lot of, tweaks, themes, apps, all that from Cydia, not many were out for iOS 7. So that's why it wasn't that big of a deal. But now we can say that, developers are back in the swing of things. We have a slew of new tweaks to talk about in a second, but yeah. So I really do like this theme. Did you get a chance to demo this?
Circlous, correct?
Yes.
So as soon as you posted it on Instagram, I went directly to Cydia and I downloaded it because, judging from your picture on Instagram, it looked very nice. Added a very cool feature to your phone.
I really do like that. Okay, that's it for Winterboard themes for now. So the first tweak that we actually have to talk about now this just came out a few days ago. It's called AppTray, and I know me and Max are both really huge fans of this. I think this is a fantastic tweak. So basically, if you don't know what AppTray is, it's basically a you swipe down to open up Notification Center, and then you can kill switch it. There's a little kill switch that enables it or disables it. But basically, you have the Today tab and this tab and something else. But then if you enable the tweak, you also get the AppTray little section. And you can name that whatever you want. I named it, I think, Important Apps or something, or Jailbreak or whatever. You can name it whatever you want. But so basically, you can launch your favorite applications right from there. And I think it's a really nice idea. So I know Max has tested it. We both really love this. What do you think of it, Max?
I mean, I just got it last night. I haven't really had a chance to use it right now. I mean, like today. But it's only the first day. My current name is blank for some reason.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I added a bunch of the apps that I use during my daily life.
Yeah. Well, that's also something. I mean, I use my iPhone for school as well as my iPad. So, I'm constantly on there creating a Pages document or writing something down that I have to remember for reminders or for notes or something. So, it's just, and, there's essential things that I always use: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, those essential apps that I just always use in my day-to-day life. That's where I put them. And I think it's a really nice idea. Considering you can also launch it from the lock screen, which I love, because, with certain apps, with certain things, you're not able to do that. Do you think you like that aspect of it? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the top 10 tweaks. That's all that I have to say about this.
Yeah. The next thing we have to talk to you guys about now, if you guys follow, if you guys are listening right now, I know some of my friends are listening in right now. So if you happen to be one of my friends, you can follow my personal account on Instagram, then you might know what we're talking about. And also, if you follow Max on Instagram, then you'll definitely know what we're talking about. So a picture, we posted a picture, both of us, of Twitter, and I happen to know that I have, how many followers do I have right now? At this point, I only have 5 followers, so woo! But no. But anyway, so this tweak, which actually released, I believe, like a year ago, which is called TrollTwiter. So I basically hacked into the Twitter app and made it look like, for a troll, made it look like I had 2,147.4 million followers.
And I did the same thing too.
Yeah. So, so if you guys were like, what? How did they get so popular? Well, now you know. Now you know that wasn't, we don't have that many, followers. So, again, yeah, we wish. So, again, that's a nice little tweak. It's been around, I think, since, like, last year. And I knew about it for a little while. I never really used it up until, like, now because it gained iOS 7 compatibility. And plus, when I had found out about it, I had an iOS 6 device, and it had I had my iPod on iOS 6. So, and I didn't have Twitter back then, so I didn't really use it anyway. So, it's just one of those things you hear about, but you don't really use it until now. I mean, now I'm going to be using that a lot to say, oh, look, I hacked Twitter. Now I have like 200 billion followers. It's pretty funny. So, and there's not even that many people in the world. So, what do we have to talk about now? So I guess, Max, what do you think of TrollTwiter? Do you like it?
Yeah, well, there's not really that much use to it, but
Yeah.
just to troll your friends, I guess that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's all that I
Okay.
can say about it.
Okay.
All right, so next is Google Play Movies and TV.
Okay. So, Max, you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So the title basically says it all, but there's an application from the App Store which lets you stream free movies and TV shows.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't get it yet, but
Neither did I.
you cannot buy movies and TV shows. So I guess they just want to implement free streaming, free movies to watch, anything, basically any show that you want, like a revamped Netflix, but you don't have to pay for it.
So there's no subscription services to it. It's basically just like download and watch.
Free app from the App Store.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to get it yet.
Yeah, neither did I. But we'll talk about that in next week's podcast. I'm sure we'll both get that. So the next thing we have to talk about is so a developer, I don't know his name, but he came out with a way to actually get iOS 7 Screensaver for Mac. So you can go ahead, a link will be down in the description below in order to get that. Basically, you just go to his website, download the .dmg, and he has instructions on what to do. You drag, I think it's a .rtf file or something. I forget what extension it is, but you drag that into the Screensavers file. Then you open up the Preferences folder and then go to Screensavers, and you can apply it there. And it just looks really nice. I'm running it on my Mac right now. It's the late 2012 model running OS X Mavericks. So, I mean, it looks pretty cool. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. Other than fashion and look, there's nothing you could really do with it. So the next thing that we have to talk about, and now this was really important, is Substrate Safe Mode got updated. Yeah, so that was a huge update, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so basically, Substrate Safe Mode was somewhat compatible, but it still was not working. People were giving Saurik complaints that it was too buggy, and it just needed an update. So Saurik went to work on an update, and he pushed one out. When was it? I think it was last week, or was it this week? I forget. It was this week, wasn't it? It was like Tuesday or Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
So, right, he made an update, and basically it supports ARM64 devices, which means the iPad mini, the iPad Air, and what else? And the iPhone 5S. So all the 64-bit compatibility devices with A7 and M7 will be able to download that. And I also recommend for everyone just to get Substrate Safe Mode updated if you haven't already, just to make sure you're in the loop with things, because it does also improve on older devices as well. I know before that update there was crashes with my iPhone 5, and now there's hardly any. So it was a big update, even for older devices, and I recommend everyone gets that. So what do you think about that, Max?
Well, you came up to me at the end of school and said that Substrate Safe Mode got updated. So when I went on the bus, I saw that it was updated because I believed you, but I just wanted to make sure, so I installed it, and that's the end of that.
Have you been noticing? Like any bugs or anything, or has it really
It's been working fine for me.
So yeah, there's really little, if any, bugs. Still, they're in the jailbreak. I did notice a bug with Winterboard at times, but this was before Winterboard was updated. And this was a huge vulnerability, a huge bug, by the way, where if you went into Winterboard, if you went to Spotlight search something and you typed in a letter, it would just boot your device into safe mode automatically. And that really made me mad, because each time I couldn't find my FaceTime, each time I wanted to call Max to tell him something, I searched FaceTime, my device booted in the safe mode. I was like, come on, So That's fixed. But the next thing we have to talk about is Max.
Next thing, Swipe Selection Pro.
So this is a really nice tweak. I was using the one on iOS 6. I used the one on iOS 6, and I've used the one on iOS 7. Swipe selection was actually compatible with iOS 7, but I guess Swipe Selection Pro is built from the ground up, and it's just a little bit better. So Max, I know when I gave you this list, you were like, oh, I have to get on that. I have to know what this does. So I know you have experience with it now. Do you like it? Do you think it improves the way iOS is? What do you think?
I don't think it really makes a difference, but I'm going to quote our download blog from this one. It says it's a must-have tweak, and it does cursor management. You can change the sensitivity, the swipe area, and triple tap the Shift key to toggle Swipe Selection Pro on and off. You can enable it. You can change the swipe speed, and the feature that is 3-finger swipe to move the beginning or an end of a document. Only advisable on an iPad. So, you have anything to add on that?
Well, I did test it. I have it on my iPad. And I have to say, swipe selection, not that it's, bad on iPhone, but I think I would recommend it a lot more for iPad users. If you're jailbroken, go ahead and install that right now. It's worth the $1.99 or whatever, however the price is that you can find it on Cydia. I forget exactly how much it is. But it is worth the money to get that. It is a must-have tweak, especially if you're running on an iPad, because people do a lot of writing on iPads. So that's why I say it's always a must-have tweak for iPad users. So the next thing we have to talk about, Max, you want to talk about it?
Oh, sure thing. iTouch Secure iPhone 5S. So let's start this one right off. It uses Touch ID. Now, this only works if you have an iPhone 5S. When I saw this, I got very excited, but then I saw that it only runs for an iPhone 5S. So it uses the Touch ID to keep files within when you put your finger on the sensor. So I know you haven't been able to test this, but do you know anybody that has tested this, or did you hear anything else about this?
Well, I mean, I know initially I had thought as well that it was going to be for all devices, but I can't remember if it was iTouch Secure or BioProtect or something, but it came out, I think it was BioProtect, and both of those are basically the same, but I heard that they actually came out with a version that you can get it on other devices that do not have the Touch ID sensor, and you're able to actually use that as a normal locking tweak that'll actually lock your phone without the Touch ID. So I think that's really cool. But no, I did not hear anything else about that. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So the next tweak we have to talk about, it's actually a pretty amazing tweak. It's a preview. It's not available on Cydia yet, but what it'll do is it'll let you use the iPhone 5s's Touch ID sensor in order to unlock your Mac. So this is really awesome. As I had said, it's just a preview. It is not available in Cydia yet, but we will make a video telling you, but I have not tested it and no one else has, so...
Well, I did see an initial video, because I always follow Twitter. So I forget who it was. I think some developer tweeted out a video, on YouTube, and that was the first time I'd heard about it, and then I saw that IDB had a couple of hours later, IDB had done a post on it. So I did see it show up on Twitter though first. And basically, essentially, like he said, what it does is you can use your iPhone 5s Touch ID sensor, although this is not out on Cydia yet. It will probably be out in the next couple weeks. So anyway, you can, back to that, you can use your Touch ID sensor in order to unlock your Mac. And I think that's a pretty good idea. And I can't wait to see that in Cydia. Now, no one knows what it's going to be priced at, but I'd assume it's going to be at least 99 cents to $1.99. That's probably what it's going to run for. I don't think it'll be free. On the off chance that it is, then I'd say for everyone, go ahead and install it if you're running an iPhone 5s. But yeah, so the next thing we have to talk about is, let's see. Okay, Max, you have the next one.
Oh, right. Now, this was very cool. It's like something that you would get in your household to affect your everyday life. So, I'm just going to start out by saying this. I know I have a thermostat downstairs in my dining room, and so it works as a smoke detector, which is very cool. I mean, this would be something that I would have upstairs in my room. So,
Yeah.
and it says Google soon to be involved. As you might know, Google, they want a part in everything, especially when they see an idea that's going to go somewhere. They're going to want to buy some investment or at least help out with that. So
Yeah. But guys, go ahead. We will answer any of your questions. So go ahead and shoot us, a question using the hashtag Let's Talk Tech Live, either on Google Plus or on Twitter, using both of our, doing that. So we will answer your questions at the end. But anyway, so what were we talking about? Where are we? Sorry, I got flustered there.
iOS 7.1 new
There we
thing.
go. Okay, so iOS 7.1 new things. So basically, 7.1, there's the betas have been out for a while, but really, there hasn't been that much, with it, that's been new. Really, the only thing that we saw in the first couple of betas were bug fixes, and then as well as we saw the dark keyboard get added as a functionality for iOS 7. And that could be enabled, I think, through settings in general, and then accessibility, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't have the beta running on my phone or iDevice, so I couldn't tell you guys that. But, yeah, so there is a jailbreak tweak called Blurred, which we touched on last episode. If you haven't seen that yet, go ahead. A link will be down in the description below. But basically, that brings to the table, the dark keyboard to the table for iOS 7 through iOS 7.0.4 users that do not, have the dark keyboard functionality enabled. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Another thing, though, is, guys, we won't hear it officially yet until 7.1 launches, but do not update until you hear something, when 7.1 launches to the public, the first day, whatever, do not, update the first chance you get. Make sure if you're an avid jailbreaker and you really want to stay jailbroken, just make sure that 7.1 is compatible. Other than that, if you update, you run the risk of losing your jailbreak, which sort of stinks. But Apple's likely going to patch vulnerabilities, exploits that the Evaders team have exploited from iOS 7 through iOS 7.0.4. So that's why I'm saying, you always want to check the latest news to make sure that, you're not updating and then, you can't go back to a jailbreak. So anyhow, so the new things, there was the new thing, there's a when you instead of, when it says slide to power off, the slide to power off button looks different, and it's, minor things. The next thing I think we should talk about, though, is
Version 7 1.0.4. Alright, so I guess I'll take this one away.
Yes.
So, there was a security update fix for Retina iPad Mini. That's all that I have to say about that. I mean, I don't think that there was that much else to it. I mean, just another update. Everybody got excited.
Uh-huh.
Yeah? You have anything to add?
I mean, other than the fact that we did see in that update, we did actually see that 1.1.9, Cydia 1.1.9 got bundled with Evasion 7. So before, you actually had to go in and install that, which wasn't that big of a pain. But if you are not used to, Cydia, then you might have trouble with that, being able to install that and whatever. But, it really didn't take that long. It doesn't take that long to install anyway, and you don't have to reboot or respring. So it's not that much of a hassle. But I was expecting this was going to come out eventually. We were going to see an update that had Cydia 1.1.9 bundled in with it. as well as they did, I think, an iPad Mini Retina fix. No, I think it was an iPad Mini 2 or 3 boot loop fix. I think it was the one. I think it was either Wi-Fi only or 3G. I forget which one it was. But people who were jailbreaking were experiencing a boot loop on iPad 2 or iPad 3. So now that is fixed in the latest version of Evasion. So what's the next thing we have to talk about?
Winterboard update, 64-bit.
Yes, Winterboard update 64-bit. So this is what we've this is what we've been touching on for a little while, even though we haven't said it yet. So Winterboard actually got updated by Saurik himself. Saurik actually makes Winterboard. Who would have figured that out? The creator of Cydia actually makes a tweak, which is pretty awesome. So anyway, Winterboard is actually a really good tweak. So he updated it, I want to say, it was around the same time that Substrate Safe Mode got updated, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think it was either that day or the day after or the day before. It was somewhere in between. But basically, Winterboard got updated for 64-bit compatibility, which means the iPhone 5S, the iPad Mini, and the iPad Mini Retina, and the iPad Air. So basically, what this does, even for older devices, like I had said, Winterboard, even though it was somewhat compatible with iOS 7 before this update, like I said, there was a huge bug where if you tried to go in the Spotlight, it would actually crash out, and it would give you an error, and it would boot you into safe mode. So unfortunately, that's a huge bug. But anyway, that's really nothing to worry about now because he fixed it. So what do you think? Did you test Winterboard before this huge 64-bit update, or is this the first time you're sort of using it on iOS 7? What are you?
Yeah, I tested it. I had Winterboard before the update, and it was running perfectly.
So nothing to complain about? You didn't experience that Spotlight issue?
No.
No. Okay, well, maybe it wasn't every device, but I know on my iPhone 5, I have an iPhone 5. So I know my iPhone 5, it was, there was a bug with it. But anyway, I see we're losing some viewers here, so I'm going to try and kick it up into gear and make it go a little bit better. So anyway, what do we have next? We have, let's see. I'm just going to skip here. Let's talk about Byte SMS. Now, Byte SMS got updated just a little bit. It wasn't really a major update, right? It wasn't that, big of a deal.
You're really jumping down the list.
Yeah, no, I know. I just want to make sure we have enough time because he's got somewhere to go right after this podcast, so I'm trying to, speed things up a little bit. But, so we got that.
I actually have to get in the shower pretty soon.
Okay. All right, good. So we're speeding this up for you here. Okay, so we have that. Not a major update. Really, the only thing, the UI changed for it. The icon UI changed for it. So now it looks a little bit more like blended in with iOS 7. I'm not sure if I like that one better or the other one. Max, which one do you think you like better?
I don't really like the new icon that Byte SMS brought to the table. But, I like the messages icon.
Right.
Okay, so next, I guess is...
convergence, which is something I know you had talked to me about. You had told me about this before. I hadn't known about this because this came out, like, right in between my little break from Cydia and stuff, from jailbreaking and whatever. But you had told me about this tweak, and you said, it's really laggy, I don't like it, I installed it and uninstalled it. And I had actually done the same thing. I didn't want to really take your word for it. I wanted to try it out too. So I installed it, and it was lagging up the device like crazy. So I said, you know what? I'm taking this off my device. I can't take it. So I took it off. Long story short, and so me and him both experienced lag with it. I think when we tried to power our devices on, like it was lagging, like 20 seconds. And then, it would power. You hit the lock button, then 20 seconds after you hit the lock button, it would turn on. So, that's why I'm saying we uninstalled that tweak. I know we both experienced bugs with that. Did you particularly not like that tweak? What did you think of it?
It's a good tweak to have, but if it wasn't lagging so much, I mean, I see an update coming in the horizon pretty soon.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's all that I can say.
Yeah. Let's just talk about Apple Seeds OS X Mavericks 10.9.2 to developers. So, you want to take this?
Sure. So, the FaceTime audio was fixed.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. Did you have a chance to beta test this or no?
No, I did not actually. I did not have a chance to beta test this. But I heard good things about it. I haven't updated my computer in a little while. Considering for videos, we're doing some pretty big stuff. Which we'll talk about that later. But we're doing some pretty big stuff in 2014 for both of our channels. So that takes up a lot of space on my computer, which is why I haven't really got around to updating it because it takes a gigabyte or so to update. So I've heard really good things about it. I heard the Gmail was integrated into it or something. I forget exactly what I heard. So Spark Camera. It was it was actually yesterday, I think. Yesterday, I think at around 4:35ish. Spark Camera went free in the App Store as Apple's App of the Week. So, you want to take this?
Yeah, I mean, I just got it on here on my phone. It was a bit confusing at first, but I got used to it, and it was. I don't really think you can edit the thing. You can edit the photo within the application, so that's very cool.
Right. So I mean, I really think that's a cool application. I haven't really gotten around to using it that much. I tried it once. I demoed it once. It seemed pretty cool, and you can also share it to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. AirDrop, all those different things. Send it in an email, message, iMessage, whatever. So that's pretty cool. So Max, you want to take the next topic, which is Chrome 32?
Alright, so I'll just briefly discuss this one. Chrome 32 available to download for Mac, Linux. New interface auto updates your Google icon that tells if sound is coming from that tab, and there are a bunch of parental restrictions if you're a parent. Not that a parent will be watching our video, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we have that, and then another thing we have to talk about is
Flippo Bigarella, I think I'm saying his name right. He actually, a couple of hours ago, he gave us an update about Springtomize 3, an upcoming tweak that he is developing, and he developed Springtomize 1 and 2, so it's a very highly anticipated tweak, and I know we've been talking a lot about it. But if you guys don't know what Springtomize is, basically Springtomize 1 and 2, basically what they are, brings a whole lot of things to the table. From customizing, the apps, the size of the app icons to being able to, not have any text on the bottom of the icons. I mean, there's so much you can do with Springtomize, and he's been hitting out even more for Springtomize 3. So it is definitely worth. I doubt it's going to be free, but it's definitely worth. However much it is when it comes out on Cydia. And so yeah, I'm really excited to test that out, and I think probably launch day I'm gonna get that. So yeah, so it's a very, very exciting tweak.
It's a really good tweak, and I'm really excited for Springtomize 3. He said it's in the beta right now, and he said really not long now until it gets released officially. So that's really something to look forward to. You think you'll download that when Springtomize 3 becomes available, Max?
Yeah, probably. Most likely.
Yeah, same. Okay. So yeah, now this is the last one that we're going to be talking about. So Video Pane 1.1.1. This is by far, I think, one of my favorite tweaks on this list, Video Pane 1.1.1. So if you don't know about Video Pane, essentially what it is you can go into YouTube. I'm having a brain fart here. YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, any video app that supports video. And then basically you can detach the video. It'll ask you, once you get on the video, it'll ask you to detach the video. And then after you do that, it'll come up in a picture-in-picture thing. You can actually browse the internet, look on Twitter, look on Facebook, look on Instagram, do whatever you want, all still while watching the video, which I think is pretty nice. So that with 1.1.1, that actually received an iOS 7 compatibility as well as it sort of got built from the ground up a little bit.
Okay, guys, so I think that wraps up our second episode of Let's Talk Tech.
Thanks for doing this, Max. Same time next week.
Yeah, sure. All right.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
See ya. Peace.